Subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one. The Russian sleep experiment, an urban legend, tells of scientists in the 1940s who allegedly kept prisoners awake using a stimulant gas. After weeks, they exhibited grotesque and self-destructive behaviors, becoming unrecognizable. An intriguing photo, taken around 1910, displays a ghostly figure superimposed on a common scene. Likely the result of double exposure, a common accidental effect at the time, the image and mysterious atmosphere make it even more haunting. During a family dinner, the Coopers had a terrifying surprise. A body fell from the ceiling at the exact moment the photo was taken. A disturbing drawing by a little girl depicts her friend, who, according to her, Mom and Dad cannot see. The dark figure on paper leaves an unsettling mystery about its origin. Terry Ike Clanton, a Western enthusiast, posed in Boot Hill Cemetery in the western United States in the 1990s. In the photo, near his left shoulder, appears a figure of a man in Old West attire, though no one was present when the photo was taken. The Brown Lady, photographed in the 1930s, depicts the supposed ghost of Lady Dorothy Townsend descending the stairs of Rainham Hall, England. The enigmatic and haunting image is one of the most iconic in the record of supernatural phenomena. Dennis Russell photographed his grandmother in 1997, and in the background, the figure of a man identified by the family as her late grandfather, who passed away in 1984, appeared. The unexpected apparition intrigued everyone, raising questions about the mystery in the image. In the 1920s, 2 men died in a gas leak aboard a ship and were buried at sea. After the burial, the crew reported seeing their faces in various locations. This photo, taken by the captain, captured the unexplainable, trying to validate the crew's claims. A recent photo taken in Manila, Philippines, shows 2 friends posing cheerfully while a third captures the moment. The mystery arises when noticing a transparent stranger holding the arm of the girl on the right, leaving everyone perplexed. Ralph Hardy photographed a mysterious figure on the staircase of the Greenwich Museum in 1966. Historians link the ghost to a maid killed 300 years ago, pushed down the stairs while cleaning up blood. This photo was taken in 1960 by Reverend K.F. Lord. While photographing the altar of his church in England, he did not expect what would appear: the image of a hooded spirit standing among the altar steps. A nursing team captured an intriguing photo on a viewing monitor showing a black figure over the patient, who passed away a few hours later. The event occurred in 1959. At a birthday reception, Joe Martinez was photographed with the image of a dog over his shoulder, despite no dogs being present. Joe and his wife believe the image is of the devil himself. Experts confirmed the photo's authenticity, with no signs of tampering. In Allegheny National Forest, Pennsylvania, a wildlife camera activated by a deer captured something unexpected: a spectral figure with a screaming face. The local mystery reinforces its eerie reputation. A girl takes a casual selfie, but in the bottom left corner, the reflection in a cosmetic mirror reveals something disturbing. A gray and shriveled face with demonic eyes appears to be watching her. A young woman resembling Topanga Lawrence poses for what seems to be a normal selfie. However, above the bedroom door, demonic eyes emerge from the darkness, silently observing her, adding a terrifying element to the image. A surreal scene on Japan's Miyakojima Island shows residents wearing gas masks due to high levels of volcanic activity. The toxic gas seeping from the ground makes the equipment necessary for survival, creating an image as haunting as it is real. A 12-year-old boy saw something strange while resting at night in 2006 in Arkansas. He noticed a pale, hunched figure approaching from the dark, initially thinking it was his dog. When it came closer, he realized it was something much more disturbing. This creature became popularly known as the Rake. The Smile Dog is a terrifying urban legend that emerged on the internet. The story revolves around a cursed image of a dog smiling sinisterly. Those who see the photo say they are tormented by nightmares until they share it with others. A fire consumed a building in Wem, Shropshire, England, in November 1995. An amateur photographer captured the image of a young girl in the doorway of the burning building. Many believe it to be the ghost of Jane Churm, who died at the site. In a Worstead church, Diane Berthelot was photographed praying one summer in 1984. Months later, while reviewing the photos, the family noticed the figure of a white woman standing behind her. The Teletubbies, in black and white, lose their childlike charm and gain a disturbing appearance. The lack of color transforms what should be a cheerful program into something unsettling, almost like a scene from a horror movie. Beauty treatments of the 1930s and 1940s were frightening. One example was the use of carbon dioxide to freeze freckles. Patients' eyes were covered, nostrils blocked, and they breathed through a tube, creating a scene worthy of horror films. Family portrait. Have you ever seen a photo where each member has a stare you wouldn't want to hold for too long? This portrait reaches another level of unease, simply frightening. A peculiar and bizarre scene was recorded by a store's security camera near a red box. A person, bent at an unusual angle, appears to be in an unnatural position. At first glance, everything seems like a typical wedding, with several guests participating in a traditional ceremony. However, something in the image leaves a strange sensation. Looking closely at the background, one can notice hooded figures in robes, suggesting the presence of a cult during the ceremony, making the scene at least strangely unsettling. While testing his equipment, a wedding photographer captured the image of an entity looking directly at him. The farm owner confirmed that the spirit of a young boy in sleepwear was often seen wandering the property. This image shows hooded figures in a circle around a car, arms raised in a ritualistic pose. The scene, shrouded in mystery, evokes a disturbing feeling, as if part of a cult or dark and unexplained event. The case of Annalisa Michel, a teenager, began in the late 1960s when she experienced hallucinations and extreme behaviors, such as eating spiders. Subjected to 67 exorcisms, she died in 1976 at the age of 23, inspiring the film The Exorcism of Emily Rose. In 1931, a couple of psychologists raised a chimpanzee named Gua alongside their own baby to test whether it could learn human behaviors. The experiment sought to observe if Gua could walk, talk, and act like a human child. The experiment took a disturbing turn when, instead of Gua learning to act human, the human baby began mimicking the chimpanzee's behavior. Concerned about the changes, the parents abruptly ended the experiment. Sinister. Russian soldiers are seen wearing costumes to alleviate the fears of war. However, despite the intentions, the image took on a disturbing tone due to the grotesque masks and bizarre outfits against the grim backdrop of conflict. These mysterious handprints appeared on the glass of a woman's second-floor window with no apparent explanation of how they got there. The fact that they are in such a high location makes the event even more unsettling and difficult to understand. In Florida, a woman heard rustling in the bushes and noticed a strong smell. Curious, she took a photo and captured a strange creature, leaving her completely shocked. In Portland, a man found his tires slashed and a note left on his car that read, "You were so easy to find, Mark. You should drive more carefully." The note made the incident even more unsettling. In a playground in Poland, a rigid and autonomous cable was found standing upright in the sky with no visible support. The McPike Mansion, built in 1869 in Alton, Illinois, is famous for paranormal reports, including apparitions and unexplained sounds. Investigations in 1999 recorded mysterious mists and frightening activities, such as sinister faces captured in photos during the night. I sent this photo to show a friend that our favorite movie was on TV, but I noticed something strange. A shadowy figure appeared in the empty hallway behind me, making everything terrifying. This little girl took this photo while trying to capture the moment a bird flew into her house. The scary part? No one was behind her when the photo was taken. A man received a notification on his phone warning him that someone was at the door. Upon checking the image captured by the camera, he found this enigmatic figure staring directly into the lens. This image recalls the attire worn by plague doctors during the Middle Ages. The beak-shaped mask, designed to filter odors with herbs, is iconic, but up close, it is unsettling, evoking more fear than the cure it intended to symbolize. Ventriloquist dolls are naturally unsettling, but this one, dating back to the 1800s, takes the discomfort to another level. The doll's face appears to be made of real skin, adding to the mystery. Imagining it speaking is enough to send chills. Dolls are already unsettling, but an entire town of them is terrifying. In the 1950s, the U.S. government used fake villages in the Nevada desert for nuclear tests. Families of mannequins were exposed to explosions, as shown in this photo at the moment of destruction. This photo of a faceless young man caused a stir on the internet, fueling legends about beings among us. However, the truth is far less sinister. It was simply part of a British clothing brand's advertising campaign. Homemade Halloween costumes for children had a genuinely disturbing tone in the early 1900s. Without the store-bought outfits of today, improvised masks with vacant and crude expressions created an eerie air that continues to give us chills. A young man was testing his new digital camera with his friend Tommy in 2005. Two photos taken seconds apart showed something strange. In the non-flash image, an inexplicable figure appeared in the background. Only the two were in the room. For years, a family believed they were haunted by the woman in white, a figure sometimes peaceful, sometimes vengeful, who silently observed them. Proof came in a casual photo where the entity unexpectedly appeared in the background. While reviewing photos taken at her parents' home, Christy noticed something terrifying. A dark and sinister figure appeared in one of the images, hovering in the doorway, as if silently watching her. Submitted to Reddit in 2012, the mystery of the Wisconsin trail camera continues to intrigue. The hunched-over creature captured sparked theories ranging from wendigos to jokes about bedsheets. The answer? We may never know. The Paris catacombs, created in the late 18th century, form a subterranean labyrinth containing the remains of over 6 million people. Overcrowded cemeteries originally led to the transfer of bones into the tunnels, turning the site into a vast ossuary. The atmosphere of the catacombs is deeply unsettling, with skulls and bones arranged in patterns along the walls. Urban legends speak of wandering spirits and mysterious sounds, making it a popular destination for explorers and paranormal enthusiasts. William Hope, a pioneer in spirit photography, claimed to capture spirits in his images. In this photo, a veiled figure appears behind a man, supposedly his deceased sister. An old photo shows a haunting ritual, a man bent as if in prayer while a woman in white seems to levitate or jump to an impossible height. Without modern effects, the scene suggests something supernatural or even witchcraft. A sculpture known as Le Passe-Muraille, created in 1943, takes on an eerie form in the depths of a dark tunnel. Seeming to peer out from within the wall, it evokes the unsettling feeling of being watched in such a grim setting. An intriguing image circulated on the deep web, generating unsettling theories. In reality, it is just a person who decided to watch a movie alone, proving that solitude in certain circumstances can be interpreted as something disturbing. This image was captured at night by a hunter using a night vision camera in a forest. Beyond the deer in the foreground, a mysterious figure resembling a child appears in the background. The skeletons displayed in the Capuchin crypt in Rome offer a unique and unsettling sight. Around 1900, their elaborate arrangement, made from the bones of monks, symbolized the transience of life and the inevitability of death. On November 13, 1985, Omaira Sanchez, a 13-year-old girl, became trapped in debris after the Nevado del Ruiz volcano erupted in Colombia. For 60 hours, she remained neck-deep in water, praying and hallucinating before dying from gangrene or hypothermia. A 1920 photograph shows a couple accompanied by the apparition of a young woman, supposedly the spirit of someone who had passed away. Grotesque masks emerge slowly from the forest. The sight of these incomprehensible and unsettling presences is enough to send chills down any observer's spine. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, opened in 1910, treated tuberculosis patients, though less than 5% survived. With an estimated 8,000 deaths, the legend of Nurse Mary Lee, seen as a spectral figure captured in a photo, haunts the corridors to this day. In Europe and the United States, it is customary to check under children's beds to reassure them. However, in this image, something with a terrifying face seems to be lurking. Toy or illusion, the discomfort is inevitable. An antique armchair with a doll's head rests in what was once a kindergarten in the Chernobyl zone, abandoned after the 1986 nuclear disaster. The scene reflects the weight of the tragedy and reinforces the somber atmosphere